If you have not turned off your cell phone, I lovingly invite you to listen for a higher call. This is your friendly reminder. And if you are new or are not new and are looking for ways to get involved at ALTHEA, there are 1,000,001, and we'll go over it more at the end of service. But definitely contact Sarma, our volunteer coordinator. She's always at the front with a big smile. She's wearing coral today. So sign up with her if you want to get involved. Lastly, or almost lastly, birthdays. We've got a couple birthdays, because first of all, whose birthday was it on Friday? Very, very important. You heard about the theme of the service, right? Earth. It was Mama Earth's birthday. Earth. Yeah. Happy birthday, Earth. Yeah. Creator and sustainer of all. Okay, who else? Where are my Tauruses out there? Oh, got a Taurus. A couple. Well, we'd love for you to stand and sing happy birthday for y'all. You don't have to stand if you said it. Please don't make me stand. All right. Happy birthday to all Tauruses and Mama Earth. Some Aries too. All right. And that is such an Aries thing to say, right? I love it. I love it. All right, all Mama Earth, Tauruses, and Aries. It really breaks it up, doesn't it? To sing happy birthday in general, it's a classic, it's a good community, especially when we're giving it to our friends at our Sustainer of Life. Speaking of the earth, it's important in every single service we do a land acknowledgement. So if you have not done one of these before, we are so grateful for this amazing sanctuary created by women 1,000 years ago. And we want to honor the original caretakers of this land, right? Who did not look like me, or the women who guided this space. And so we want to acknowledge them, not only the lives that they've led, their wisdom, the knowledge that they have, but also that they're very alive now, that this is not a passive remembering of the past, it is a purposeful honoring of the present. So I invite you to close your eyes for just a moment and center in our being gratitude, awareness, and connection to the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute communities. We are grateful for you, we acknowledge you, and we work to repair our relationship. And so it is. All right, we already started a little prayer, which is good. And we always love to start with an opening prayer. So for this, I invite Reverend Arthur King to do our opening prayer.
Divine Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we come to you now, acknowledging that you are always with us. You do wonderful things for us, including on this day, our commemoration of your creation of an incredible physical planet for us to experience physical life. You are always there for us, waiting only for us to ask and to let you in, to acknowledge you. And so for today, we say thank you for this beautiful planet we have. We say thank you for the gifts that you have given us, the opportunity to learn about physical life here, the experiences that we gain as our soul grows by being here. And so, acknowledging that you were with us, always loving, giving, we say thank you again for this beautiful present of this earth and this life that we have. Amen.
Good morning. Please stand as you're able and join me in the statement of being, followed by faith in God. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one like this. Perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. You are the... Oh, I'm sorry. We're good. Hold on. So what is the chance to get in place here? You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. We are a family. You are the face of God.
So if you don't know that Erin and Lila were sick in your program today, so thank you to Otis Okochi and Gerald Thompson for stepping up and leading that. We want to give a warm welcome back to Susie Peek. We'll welcome her back in this space if you haven't heard her gift of violin that warms your heart every single time. So thank you, Susie, for being here. And I'd love for you to play.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, we'll do the reading after, actually. And then Arpa will do the reading. And you get a copy of the reading, actually, afterwards at the lunch. Thank you, Susie.
So I looked for earth type music, and I didn't know. But one thing I like about music is that you can do anything you want to do. So I'm going to play this piece, and I invite you to contemplate earth if you want or not.
Before I read today's reading, I would like to give a little bit of background information. I am so honored to get to be here and a part of this day of celebrating and acknowledging our Mother Earth. It's important to me for a number of reasons, but the background that very few people know is before I entered the metaphysical world, the spiritual world, I was a chemist doing things for many topics, but including developing a method that led to ships crisscrossing all over the oceans, taking new measurements with a method I developed, taking over 10 years, and you heard very little about the greenhouse effect then. That work ended up being a 25, or summarized in a 25-page article in the National Geographic magazine. And it resulted, among other accomplishments that I was inspired in achieving, by being listed in Who's Who. So, things many people don't know about me. But what I would like to what I want to share with you today is some quotes from this book, Earth Speaks Up, Dynamic New Perspective on Earth and Your Role Here. And I happen to believe that everything has a spirit, has something to it, more than just being a physical thing. And in the case for what I'm reading today in this book is someone who has channeled messages from Earth. And so, whether or not you believe in channeling, I think you will find wisdom in these phrases, sentences, and sections I've chosen. First, from Earth. I am consistently communicating with you and resonating with you. The more you connect with my vibration, the more I am able to nourish you in your growth, and likewise, you enable me in mine. Do you see how, by your willingness to turn to and connect with your Mother Earth, you are also turning to and connecting to that divinity which is also within you? The awareness you bring to bear now and connecting with the earth is truly, truly important. It has effects beyond your natural knowing. It is a grand misperception that you are a separate being from all others who inhabit my physical sphere. We are all in this together. We are all one great whole. As human beings, you have acquired a consciousness of separation, an idea that we are truly separate beings, when in fact we are one. The very nature of this planet is about bringing into light. That sentence was actually channeled not just from Earth, but a chorus of angelic beings. And continuing with one final quote from Earth, we are all radiant carriers of love, a love which needs to move through you into the world.
We need a little bit more room back there to move around. So, did y'all read the blurb for this Sunday? Most of you? I used the word permaculture to describe what we're going to talk about today, because we're going to take a deep dive into this topic for a lot of reasons. My question is, who here has heard of permaculture before? Quite a few of you. Have you applied it to your life? Okay, a couple. All right. So you've heard of it, you're familiar with it. And I'm praying that today we learn how to apply it to our lives. knowledge, but it is transformative. I'm coming to you as a person who has been transformed by permaculture. It has absolutely changed my life. I took a course in undergrad at Regis University on it, with Adam Rock, who's now like an author and everything. He's a very prominent permaculture teacher in Colorado. And it reoriented me back to the earth. It is a paradigm that I think will really, really help us not just look at the earth and be like kind of earth-friendly or recycle sometimes, but really move the needle forward on not only climate change, but how we feel and utilize this oneness, this essence, this knownness of earth in our daily lives. It is a sacred calling. I truly, truly believe this. So I just want to tell you that at the end of this class, at the end of any permaculture class, you get to design something, you have a project at the end. And mine was, I designed a multi-spiritual space. So, I've been doing this a long time. This ALTHEA is a manifestation of things I started a long, long time ago. But before we deep dive in, I invite you to close your eyes for a second. Maybe take a breath. And I invite you to think about your absolute favorite place in nature. Where are you? What do you smell? What sounds are you hearing? What sensations on your skin? Most magical place in the natural world. Okay, now feel free to open your eyes. I know, sorry to take you out of that space. I'd love to hear a few people shout out where their favorite place in the whole world was in nature.
Yosemite.
Yosemite. Springtime Field in Missouri.
On a beach by the ocean.
Outer Banks in North Carolina. On my list. What?
On a beach by the ocean.
On a beach by the ocean. Sequoia. Got a couple national parks going on. What? Cenotes? Cenotes in Mexico.
Sitting around a fire with a pot of turkey bean soup cooking.
I love this. I should have asked it what it tasted like, shouldn't I?
Well, I can definitely smell it.
I love it. It's a whole sense experience, right? It's a ritual. Yes. Manitou Springs. In the mountains? In Aspen. I love these. And if you've been to a few, you know. The only time I ever went to Missouri was like on a road trip, and I stopped at about 6 a.m. and there is wild there, in a way. Those trees are magic. And I would have known that. I didn't stop at a rest stop. At the crack of dawn to witness what the birds were singing and how the bugs were moving in tandem. And it's magic out there, right? We all can feel that when we're in nature. And I gotta tell you, you're a part of nature. We often have this like separation as humans to nature, but really we're all part of this one essence, right? This one heartbeat. Doesn't matter if we walk out these doors or not, there's as much nature in this room. Thanks to Anna, who has lovingly watered all these plants and trees in here. Yes, can we give it up for Anna? She is our plant whisperer. So we like to call her. So permaculture invites us to redefine and redesign our relationship to nature. It's all about designing, which we know is manifesting, right? As co-creating. It's not a separation, it's a co-creation. And so that's why learning about permaculture felt like a second language to me, because I knew a lot of it. I just didn't have the words to articulate it. You ever feel like that? Especially with God, right? There's so much that we know, but we don't know all the words maybe, but it's a feeling, it's a sense, it's a memory, it's a sensation, it's a ritual, but it's there, no matter what. So the main question permaculture asks is, how to be in right relationship with the earth. It's our relationship from human to land. It reorients us, right? because we're so anthropocentric, right? We're so focused on humanity much of the time. We're so focused on our own human relationships. We forget that we're co-breathing with all these plants in this room right now. That without them, we wouldn't be here, and vice versa. That we are in relationship with nature. And we're not always in right relationship, right? So indigenous wisdom and modern science kind of wove its way together in this, with the founders are Bill Mollison and David Holmgren. And it's literally called permaculture because it's permanent culture. It's not meant to be a fly-by-night thing. It's meant to be sustaining. It's meant to be a true heartbeat, the lifeblood of how we engage with the earth and therefore ourselves, right? So I use this a lot in seminary in a thing called, I don't know if you've heard this term, process theology. Who's familiar with that term? A couple? Yeah, process theology is something I didn't know I believed in or was practicing until I went all the way to seminary. And it literally is very new thought. It is the process of becoming, of evolving, of movement, of transformation. And in that, in the process itself, that's where we learn and understand God. It is not different. So many other faiths are like, you get baptized, you get it. You eat this food, you get it, you get God. But in our belief, we truly believe that the personal work that we do on ourselves and in society and in our communities and with the Creator, it is literally in the becoming. So we are in the process. That is permaculture. It is not knowledge-based. It is process-based. So we're not stuck. So when we're redesigning and redefining, we're not stuck in something. We are in motion. So I'm not going to teach you things today. I never do up here, do I? I remind you of what you already know. That's what God is, right? A reminder. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Sometimes it's like, yes. Sometimes it's okay. All right. So you can decide today. I don't know which one you'll be. Oh, yeah. Or okay. That's up to you. But we're going to work in the process. So we're redesigning to nature, right? We're redesigning this relationship that has previously been rooted in consumption, right? Rooted in the taking of the land. That's what we do in the land acknowledgement. Does anyone ask the people here? Hey, can we build something here? I'd like to know about your traditions. I'd like to know your history, what led you to this land. No, they're like, me, mine, I signed on the dotted line. I paid a bank, whatever that means. It's not real, right? So it's important to go back to the land and reorient ourselves and redesign that relationship. What I love is learning about social permaculture. Because as much as I love the land, I love when we get to learn about the land, and then the relationship advice, basically, that we learn comes back to us. So I practice a lot in my leadership here at ALTHEA, social permaculture. Permanent culture that will sustain us, that is not just fly by night, oh, this feels good. Okay, this is good. This is good for everyone involved. Not just some people, but everyone is invited to that table. That's what social permaculture teaches us. It is literally a mirroring of the lessons of the earth, of the engagement with the earth, back to humanity. So I pray if you learn nothing else from Earth Day, it's that, right? That Mama Earth is literally giving us the way forward, giving us the way through, reminding us of our essence, reminding us of our purpose, and it's up to us to mirror that back to you. But we have to be awake, right? I talk about this all the time in ritual. What is the difference between a ritual and a routine? Intention. Intention. Are you awake? Are you seeing the earth that is actually working with us and for us, and not against us? That's up to you, right? It's a paradigm shift. Co-creating with the earth is co-creating with God, right? There is no difference, just manifesting in a different way, maybe, whether it's in a garden or a relationship, we're still in process. This shows up a lot in healing, could be in groups, in families, in organizations, in spiritual communities. We can use these principles over and over and over again in different ways because it's permanent, it's sustaining. We're not taking anything, it's equity-based. Oneness at ALTHEA, we talk about this all the time. It's a huge part of our theology here, and it's important that we incorporate it with the earth, right? That we're not just saying, yeah, we're one with other people who might look different or practice different faiths, but are we really working on our oneness? Really, it's a form of deep ecology with each other. Are we seeing not just the faces here as one, but are we seeing these plants as part of us, as part of Source? Are we seeing this in our lives? Are we feeling it, reminding ourselves of that? As you can see, thank you, Jason, so much for such a good slide. This is a really cute picture, but this is the essence of permaculture. So there's 12 little circles around it, those are the principles, and then there's 3 ethics. So 3 main ethics of permaculture. Care for earth, care for people, and fair share. You can see that in the little designs. Care for earth, care for people, and fair share. How does this show up? This fair share especially, I think it's very interesting. We get care for the earth, we get care for people, but what is a fair share between those, right? It's about disrupting the way that we work with one another and certainly with our earth. A society that is has limitless abundance is not the goal. And this disrupts a lot of our classic, old school, new thought teaching that says always highest and best is more, right? But if you are a shareholder at Netflix this week, you learned that more will cost you thousands of subscribers, right? If you're always hungry for more, you're not in the right relationship with yourself, with the earth, and certainly with God. It's important. Prosperity matters. But prosperity is a give and take, right? It's the process theology part. Prosperity isn't, I get it, I hoard it, I got it, I'm good. Prosperity is I give, and I receive in abundance, and I give back in abundance, and I receive more in abundance, and I give back. That's the relationship we want with the earth, right? And with ourselves. Don't you want to give and then receive tenfold? If you've manifested in that way, you know that it's possible. I certainly have. You give a little and you receive tons. That's how the earth works too. You work with it and respect it. So, it's our chance to redefine growth. What if growth is knowing our limit and we're growing deeper and not more? Deepen that growth. It's not always about expansion of material things, which I know is hard to hear in Taurus season, but it's a really expansion of our mind, of our consciousness, and of our relationship, which should be rooted in ethics. That's why we have those 3 ethics. I don't have time to go through all 12 principles, plus you guys are like, come on, are you kidding? We came here to learn and have fun and get uplifted and chat with each other and get back to our day. So I'm going to just do 2. Is that cool, y'all? If you come to the deep dive, you will experience a phenomenal time. But you'll also get some handouts, and one of those handouts will literally have all of the 12 principles on it, so you can do your homework later, report back. But I want you to have the tools. So I'm giving you 2, but use this as an ellipses, and I pray you do your own research on your own time, because truly, this paradigm shifting, redesigning of our world, of our relationships, is so liberatory. So liberatory. So, shifting the paradigm, we're focus on one of them is called design from patterns to details. Design from patterns to details. That means a bird's eye view. We're looking at nature to teach us how to interact with each other and how to, for sure, interact with Earth. So we often in life are like, I want this thing, I want this flower, I want it this way, and I want it right now. But if you only focus on this flower, you're missing the entire garden and maybe 9 other species that might be calling to you, might be birthing forth, and you can't see because you want the one flower that you picked. So we don't have a limited viewpoint. We don't want to focus on those those details. We want to really widen our perspective, get a wide berth on this. This shows up really in the mind of God. I truly believe this is a holistic worldview, a holistic viewpoint. It's a whole encompassing thing. So if we're holistic, isn't that connecting to the oneness mind? To the expansive? To the deepening and widening of the world? That we're not trying to fix little tiny things. We're not trying to have or consume little tiny things. We're trying to see the whole picture. And then you can design from those patterns, once you check them out, slowly and surely, then you see the details. We get so hung up sometimes, right, on the symptom. We cannot see the cause, what's really going on. It's so important to get to the root cause. And that's what this bird's eye view really does. It's a holistic paradigm. It shows up a lot, right, in nature. Colors are pattern-based. Different patterns on like the backs of butterflies and different things, right, are amazing. Even seasons are pattern-based. We know every year certain things are going to happen at a certain time. You plant seeds now, you harvest them then, it snows then, the ground is cold. We get used to this pattern. It's dependable. It's beautiful. There's details in it, but we see the whole thing. Humans love patterns. Who here, I've mentioned several astrological things, who here loves astrology? Yeah, pattern language. Astrology is actually the original pattern language. A lot of people are like, that's not real. Well, they hear a lot longer than anything else. It's really phenomenal. People long time ago looked at the sky and they had a famine. They looked at the sky and they broke up with their boyfriend. They looked at the sky, and the government overthrew, whatever. They were like, okay, we're going to write this down because where the stars are looks like it matters. Because every time the stars do this, my love life falls apart. How can we learn from the patterns, right? Who here loves personality tests? Right? Gotta love a Myers-Briggs, Strengths Finder, Enneagram. Oh yeah. We find it in life, right? It's a spiritual language. That's why we crave it. A lot of this is rooted in the permaculture paradigm. So the question matters more than the answer in this patterns to details, right? So we're so focused sometimes on getting the outcome, on the answer, that we need to ask a really good question, a really transformational question. And that's what this bird's eye view really does for us. It's important that we know the direction we're going in, right? Before we get there. How many times have we thought we knew something, did it, but we showed up like, we're going to do this thing, it's going to be great, and you're there like, I would like to be home watching Netflix right now. If you don't want to be that thing, if you don't want to, whatever that is, a relationship for you, a location, have you ever felt like you just thought you were right, and then you realized you did not take a step back and realize what was going on in your life, or your body? That's all the time, because we think we know more than God. And we don't check in, right? The second principle I want to cover is use and value diversity. We love this, right? We love the oneness paradigm. We absolutely love this at ALTHEA. Diversity actually makes us stronger. That's what permaculture teaches us. We obviously know this through evolution, right? The strong did survive often. But literally, if we're not different, permaculture says we won't survive. One of the ways this happened with is the potato famine. Did you know? In Ireland years ago, the potato famine happened not because they ran out of potatoes necessarily, because they had one strand, like a parent strand of potato. There wasn't diversity in the crop itself. And so when one got infected, they all got infected. So very quickly, we didn't have diversity in potatoes, a lot of people died. This is the way we see diversity in Earth. We also see it in our culture, right? In our space, that when people look different than us, it feels good. When people talk different languages, it feels wonderful, it feels exciting. It makes us stronger. When people come from different faiths, different backgrounds, states, countries, it actually makes us better humans. Right? So the more colors in the rainbow you can have, the better, the stronger your community is. And I know that we believe that at ALTHEA. I know that's an ethic of ours. And I think we're striving for it every single day, to have this radical welcome, to really open up our space for people that are different. Because it's actually the key to our success and to our relationships with our Creator. Did you ever think that diversity was that powerful? I did. Listen to your heart when you're with people that are different than you. Listen to your heart when you're in soil that is different from you, right? We love traveling. Why? Because it's different. It's invigorating and enlivening. It reminds us the connection to the one. It literally does not reduce the storm that's happening. It steels us for the storm. It gets ready. And a huge component of permaculture is not about getting rid of a storm. It's not saying the storm won't come, because permaculture knows it will. It's not if, but when. How bad it'll be, we don't know. But that's what nature is. There were forest fires long before humans were on this planet. There were floods long before humans were on this planet. There's a lot more now, and there's a lot more to lose. But it's going to redefine the question again. It's about redefining our relationship. That's what permaculture asks us to do. Shift the paradigm. There is a phrase in permaculture. The first time I heard it, I was like, what? That cannot be real. Bill Mollison, one of the founders, says, the problem is the solution. The problem is the solution. Who in this campus are you like, no? Are people like, this cannot be real? And who was like, yeah, that makes total sense, yeah. Some a little bit, right? Challenge yourself today to reimagine the problem as actually heading towards a solution. When things are not going right in your world, it's part of the solution. I did not come the normal way to ALTHEA today because I did not run over a bunch of runners in the Cherry Creek See, positive spin. That's what we're doing. We're searching for a solution, if you want to, but through the problem. Not in spite of it, but through it. I've seen this over and over again in permaculture. When you have like a bunch of crazy weeds or something happening, okay, bring goats. Bring goats to your land. Then they eat down all the grass or whatever's growing that you don't really want. And then you feed goats. And then you have goats, and then you have goat milk. And it just really it advances the cycle of life. It's not one or the other, right? The problem gets to be our solution if we choose to, because permaculture is redefining and redesigning. And isn't that manifesting? Isn't that the heart of it? All right. I hope you learned. I certainly have. I loved re-exploring this topic. It changed my whole orientation to the earth. Instead of just, oh, recycle. That'd be good. It's really about reducing. That's step one. It's really about connecting to the earth and seeing it as an alive essence, literally mirroring back to us our oneness. It's not something we have to deal with or put up with. It is literally a relationship, and it tells us so much about ourselves when we engage with the earth. So ask yourself today, check in with your relationship with our planet. How is it? Is it healthy? Are you in right relationship with our earth? And what would you do to shift the dynamic? How can you widen your paradigm from patterns to details? How can you love the diversity and accept the problem as the solution? That's what I invite you to do. I certainly ask you to work with the elements if you can. It's a great time to physically plant seeds. We talk all the time about mentally planting seeds. This is a fabulous time of year to get your hands in some dirt. Those microbes literally make us happier. I don't know if you've heard the science on it. It's phenomenal. There's a reason why. This soil feels like the soul. There's a reason So connect with God through the soil today. That's my invitation to each of you. Thank you. And if you also want to plant seeds with ALTHEA, you have a phenomenal opportunity to do that right now. It is our offering time. And so if you have garnered and communicated and connected with this community and it has sustained you in different ways, and it has offered you solace and safety, please invest back in us. Please make sure that this space is sustainable for future generations. This is the 100th year of ALTHEA this year, and we want to have another 100 years. And this is a beautiful, but very old building, so we got to help it out. Right? Jason. Thank you. Can you switch the slide to the ritual? So the next thing we like to do, maybe they'll come, they'll just leave it anyway. You don't need text sometimes, do we? So, we always love to do a ritual. This is about prosperity, right? This is seed planting. When you put the money in the basket, when you donate online as a monthly donor or a one-time donor, all of it matters. When you use the dip jar in the back, it's a ritual because you are intentional about it. So, together, let's just put our hands over our hearts and know that this prosperity is literally planting the seeds and manifesting a better world. That this prosperity serves our earth and serves our soul, our relationship with our Creator. And so it is. Amen. And I invite our ushers forward, past basket, a few minutes, and then of course we have to bless it because the whole thing is a ritual. This prosperity is an investment in this community, an investment of this sacred building, and we use it to the absolute highest and best. No more, no less, just an absolute perfect amount. It is blessed by Spirit in each person in this room. So it is. Amen. All right, and now I invite Susie Peek back up to bless us with another song.
I was looking for a happy spring type song, and this is what came to mind.
Thank you. do it here, and it literally changes the vibration of the space. So thank you so, so much for gifting us with that, really. All right, I invite our ushers forward for the next part. One of our favorite things we do here at ALTHEA is prayers for the people. So we do affirmative prayer here, and we'd love to hear what's on your heart. Something that might be hard for you or crunchy right now. Something maybe you want blessings for something new that's birthing. We'd love to hear what's on your hearts today. And our ushers will come find you, so hopefully you'll raise your hand.
Yeah, so I would just pray that we elevate, we connect with the energy of harmony and peace that the earth is emanating, and that we really especially focus that energy on the Ukraine.
Our dog, Maya, starts her heartworm treatment tomorrow, the intense part of it. I pray and know that she will receive the medicine well and heal.
Hey, I don't know if y'all know Barbara Test, and if she's a big part of the community. She's right getting ready to transition and pass over, and it sounds like she's doing really good. Like she's accepting, she's just waiting. But I thought maybe we could shoot her just love, before she goes.
Absolutely. Why don't we do that really quick? We all just center ourselves. And we just see Barb envisioned with love, surrounded by support. We see her transition smoothly. We see no pain, just peace and knowing, and the deepening of her soul. And everyone does their part around her to make her comfortable and calm and ready. And our community holds her in absolute divine love, the heartbeat of God. So amazing. Thank you, David.
I just like everybody, or I invite everybody to, if you haven't done this for a long time, go out on Mother Earth barefoot. Walk around. It is very healing for all kinds of things, anxiety, depression, many, many things. So have fun.
The kids call that earthing. It's really amazing what soil can do. Right? Anyone else? Yes.
I just want to thank everyone for praying for my sister Caroline. She had knee surgery last week and she's recovering very well. She's recovering very well, and just if you keep her in your prayers, that would be great, because we need her back. Thanks.
I also want to give an update that my Aunt Vicki prayed, asked for prayer last week, and her biopsy came back really well, so she won't even run for a while. So thank you all for that. Prayer really does work. We can see it. I personally want to lift up one of my best friends on the planet is giving birth at this moment. So I know she's all the way to New York, and I know that it's very blessed. I don't know how long she's been in labor. It's been a few days, I think, now. So it's about where you are, really, and it's going well. If public disclosure of what's going on in your life does not call to you, totally fine. We have prayer request forms online. So definitely feel free to access that at any point in time, and we prayer partners can pray over what you really have going on anytime. So don't feel like you missed your one chance. We also have prayer partners after the service in the historic library as well. And actually today, that is Nancy Rudd. Where are you, Nancy Rudd? Thank you. So you can see her afterwards if you really have something on your heart that you want addressed right now. She does personal prayer one-on-one. I'm going to read a few things on the program as well, as you can see on the back. We have a lot of updates, ways to get to ALTHEA, of course, but also we love queer folks here with a very strong LGBTQ ministry. So we have a special Mariposa Wednesday dialogue, which is happening next Wednesday over at the Times of Harvey Milk. If you are not familiar with Harvey Milk, get familiar. It's a way shower and a radical, and someone who's definitely spiritual. So thank you for going to that. And then right after today's experience, on this stage, we'll have a gong bath, so you can participate in that as well. There's actually a lot going on after the service today, so I'm going to get to all three of them. But first, if you can see, Jason works really hard at our AV, so can we just give a round of applause? Jason also deserves a day off, all right? Tell me y'all. So if it calls to you, if you're like, I don't really know much about AV, or maybe you do, but you want to support Jason having a day or two off, he'd love to help train you in AV. And so if you're willing to come a couple times on a Sunday and work with him and just kind of shadow him, let Sarla know in the back. Sarla, you can raise your hand for folks. So she's in choral today, so she can help you out with that. You can also volunteer a lot of different ways here, from readers, as you saw Erica, to greeters and prayers, musicians, and of course with tech, and anything else we missed. So if it calls you to participate in anything that you've witnessed other folks do today, do it, right? Nothing's stopping you but you. So please get in contact with Sarma. We love all of you and want you to participate as much as you want to participate. After this, we will have a couple things. Gong bath here. Lunch will be served in the dining hall. And there will be a deep dive that will start at 12:15. So we'll give you a few minutes to eat lunch. And then a deep dive starting at 12:15 in Darwin's Den, which is right through these doors there. And we have a special guest. Would you like to come here for a second? Caroline Savory is just a wonderful human in general, but also a local permaculture expert and facilitator, and connected to Adam Rock as well, so we have also co-facilitated my players on permaculture teacher. Caroline will be co-facilitating a deep dive with me today, and so can you just give like a 30-second spiel of what are we doing?
Sure. Hi everyone, thanks for having me. I'm a social permaculture educator. I've been teaching social permaculture in Denver for 5 years. And so today, I'm just going to give you a little deeper dive into a particular social permaculture pattern. And you all get to practice working with these ideas in the deep dive. And that pattern is called the edge of change. It's all about the right edge where change wants to happen. So we will explore that more and explore it for the ALTHEA community specifically. So please join. All right, so we'll see you there, 12:15 in Darwin's Den. See you at lunch, and if you want to go to the Gong Bath, definitely do that. Lastly, let's pray, shall we? Love to close with a prayer. All right, just breathe in the power of God, the power of earth. And we know that we are not separate from that. We know that nature out the door is nature within. We are all one. We are connected to that essence, that one truth, that one life thread that flows and moves through every single living organism on this planet. I'm grateful to know this truth. I'm grateful to know this community. I'm grateful to see these principles and practices abundantly manifest in our world, in our consciousness. I know that miracles abound when we live in integrity with our planet. With deep gratitude, I say, and so it is. Amen. All right. I will be in the back, as usual, reading folks for a little bit with EJ. And our last reading songs, we invite you to stand and join in. It's one of my absolute favorites called Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Good morning.
I'm the first one.